What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings video after Liverpool have beaten Sparta Prague by 5-1, a result that all but guarantees our place in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. If you haven't joined us for a ratings video before, this is what you can expect. Quite simply, I'm going to go through the players, the substitutes and the manager, giving them all a score out of 10, asking you guys in the comments to let us know if you agree or disagree, and please do drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. But most importantly, as you can see in the top corner, we are closing in on 250,000 subscribers. Every single one of you that hits that subscribe button really does help. So we've a lot to get through, so I'm going to get into it and start with Kellerer. But before I do, bottom right hand corner of the screen, if you would like to keep up to date with the fastest goal alerts in the game, player ratings, fixtures and everything else you need from your favourite football app, download SofaScore from the QR code on the screen or the link in the description. Right, Kellerer, what can I say? Brilliant, magnificent, everything you would expect from an Irishman, quite simply. Look at your host here, it's all the same. Now look, it feels like a coming of age moment for Kelleher, and whatever else happens in the future at Liverpool, this is a moment that I'm certainly going to remember. It's a really proud moment for me having an Irishman in between the sticks and performing at the level he has. I think we can see why he's so regarded at the club and why Jurgen wants to keep him around. Now, what happens in the summer? Hey, that's another argument. But right now, let's give him the score he deserves, which of course is a massive 9 out of 10. Surely you agree with that. You may think he deserves a 10, in which case, absolutely correct me in the comments. But for me, I think 9 is more than deserved for Kelleher. Some magnificent saves again today. Moving on to Joe Gomez. Now, the good news is it looks like there's no injury to Joe Gomez. Jurgen said it was a pre-planned thing. They were just basically 45 minutes each. Joe got the first 45, Conor Bradley got the second. So we can put that rumour to bed. No injury to Joe Gomez. But that being said, it's hard to give a player a score when he's played half a game. So what we've done is we've given him a score of 6 out of 10, which is, you'll learn over time, the standard here in Anfield Agenda. If I'm unsure, go for a 6 out of 10. But the good news again, Gomez will be available. And quite frankly, I'd start him at left back against Manchester City, but we'll get to that during the week. Next up, Ibu, who could have an injury. I say could because Jurgen said it was precautionary. You've seen the images yourself, he did feel it and he was taken off. But right now, they're hopeful, optimistic that maybe he can play at the weekend. But at least the good news is it isn't another confirmed injury. So right now, it's precautionary. But from a score perspective, I thought he was doing really well. Obviously, there's a lot of space to cover on that right-hand side when our fullbacks depart, but Ibu is magnificent at it. I thought he was really good today, and I'm going to give him a score of 7 out of 10. If he had played a bit longer, obviously, he probably would have got a higher score, but what we've seen of Ibu, fingers crossed he's okay for City, but I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Next up, Jarell Quansah. Solid, calm as you like, mini Van Dijk, whatever else you want to say. What a season it's been for Jarell Quansah, and if Ibu isn't fit to play the weekend, I'm sure Jarell will come in alongside Virgil and do himself proud. I thought he was grand today. You know, we were levels above Sparta Prague and he didn't have to play to his best, so we're going to, along with Ibrahim Kanada, give him a score of 7 out of 10. Next up, Andy Robertson. Oh, Andy. Now look, I got to be honest, I feel like he's not back to his best just yet. He is working his way back from quite a while out, and I think people need to remember that. Lots of people talking about potentially selling him and stuff. Calm down. The lad has lots more to give. But, as I mentioned a moment ago, I probably would go with Joe Gomez for the game against Manchester City at the weekend on the left. So with that in mind, what have I given Robbo today for his performance? I think a 6, and I think that's fair. It was underwhelming, to say the least, from Robbo. But I do, as I said, put it into context of the fact that he is coming back from what was quite a long time out. Next up, Wataru Endo. I feel like he played within himself today, but not because he did anything wrong, or just I feel like he had more gears he could have gone through if necessary. We were by far the better team today, and I love the relationship and the understanding that's been formed between Wataru Endo and Alexis McAllister. We love him. We all love him. Let's be honest about it. So with that in mind, and based off the fact that, as I said, he was playing kind of within himself because he didn't need to be at his best, giving him a score of 6 out of 10 today. I can't imagine I'll give him many more 6s moving forward, but honestly today it was a walk in the park for him, so he didn't have to go up through the levels. Next up, Alexis McAllister won and took the penalty, and what a well taken penalty it was from Alexis. I've said it before, I'll say it again, he's the guy I would have on penalties. That being said though, I thought today You know, you can make an argument for him to be man of the match. I think BBC gave it to him. Anfield Agenda viewers gave it to DARWIN Nunes. But I really did like Alexis McAllister's performance today. He's just grown into the role, isn't he? And he already feels like a senior player at the club. So Alexis today, from me, gets a score of 8 out of 10. Again, let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. Mr. Harvey Elliot, the player who I still don't think gets the credit that he deserves from large sections of our fan base. I said that I'd probably start him against Manchester City, and some of the people in our comments, like their heads were falling off. If you still don't understand how good this young man is, I can't really help you anymore. But for me, he is just Mr. Reliable, Mr. 7 out of 10 every week, Mr. Consistency. I love Elliot. I think he's a very efficient player, and I think he's going to get better. Love the understanding himself and Conor Bradley have on that right hand side. Mentioned it a few times throughout the watch-alongs. They seem to be able to switch roles. One minute you look, Elliot's the widest player. Next minute, Elliot's back into a kind of number 10 position with Bradley going outside. So today we give Harvey Elliot a score of 7 out of 10. Cody Gakpo. And like I've said about Elliot, I'm not going to go in on Cody today. He should have scored. He'll know he should have scored. But again, good play from Cody. Good build-up play. Good all-round play. Just need to work on the finishing a little bit. He'll know he should have had himself a goal today. But I'm not going to pile on to his miseries. I think Cody Gakpo is more than good enough to be in and around this Liverpool squad. And I would remind people that he's still a young footballer as well. So today, give Cody a score of 6 out of 10. It wasn't his best game. I'm being honest about that. But I would say just give the lad a bit of space. Don't get on his back. He is trying his best. Next up, Lucho. Got himself a goal today, and as always, really energetic, happy, buzzing, settled performance. He looks like he's enjoying his football at Liverpool now, and long may it continue. He would 100% be in my starting 11 for the game against City at the weekend, and I do love that lately he's adding a few more goals to his game. So today for Lucho, we're giving him a score of 7 out of 10. If you think that's too harsh or too nice, let me know in the comment section. Next up, our boy Darwin Nunes. I mean, if you didn't love the first goal, the second goal was there. But let's be honest, we love both of them. What a strike that first one is. And yes, there will be people who said the keeper should have done better. But watch the ball. The keeper's already in the air and that ball's still moving. And it swerves to the left. It goes past the keeper's dive. I felt sympathy for the keeper more than I felt like he did that wrong. It was just a wonderful strike. And the second one backed up again. He waited and waited till it was at the right height. Across his body into the far corner. Darwin's ready. He's primed. He's good to go for the weekend. A brace for him and a score of 10 out of 10. I thought it was the perfect centre-forward's performance. Don't worry, he isn't injured. It was just a resting moment. Job done. So Klopp took him off. Don't need to worry about an injury concern. But I'm giving him a 10 out of 10 because I thought he was faultless. Absolutely perfect centre-forward performance for me. Next up, Conor Bradley. Really unfortunate. Really. I mean, he probably couldn't have put it in the top corner like that if he actually tried. I have a theory that he just wanted to humble Creevy and Kellerer a little bit. Maybe he thought Kellerer was getting a bit of carried away with all these clean sheets, and he just thought, all right, fella, knock it down. I told you us Irish knock ourselves down a peg or two every now and again. But look, that being said, got to be back in the team, surely, for the Man City game. And I'm not holding that against him. It was just an unfortunate moment. That being said, again, I still think it was okay today. You know, it's hard to come into a game like that at half-time as well. So we're going to be realistic and give him a score of 6 out of 10. Virgil van Dijk. Again, good to see him come on. Would have been nicer if they made the change at half-time like we've seen the previous game against Southampton where it was the opposite way around. This time they waited a little bit longer, and of course then we had the concern about Ibu. But he barely broke a sweat today because he barely needed to break a sweat today because we were comfortable in that game. So Virg today for his 45 minutes gets a score of 7 out of 10. Actually, it was about 43 minutes, wasn't it? Next one up, Dominic Soze. Is it just me, or did he look fatigued at the end of that game? I don't know if he's quite ready to start yet. Maybe you can get 60 out of him against City. But the question is, does he start or Elliot? I'd probably edge Elliot if I'm being honest. And he could be a good, impactful player off the bench. But that being said, again, like I said about Andy Robertson, give him a break. He's coming back. It'll take him a while to get up to match fitness. Today, for his cameo off the bench, he gets a 7. And of course, he was on the score sheet as well. So that probably added him that extra point. Next one up is Bobby Clark. I love this kid. I do. He never lets us down when he's in the centre of the park. Won the ball back as well for the disallowed Mohamed Salah goal, which, by the way, I still don't know why it was disallowed. I don't know who was offside for it, but it didn't look like it was Mo. Clark is deserving to be in and around this first team squad. And I think you'll see him play the reverse fixture, starting in midfield as well. I like him, I rate him, and I look forward to watching him develop. So today, Clark gets a score of 6, mainly because he wasn't on the pitch all that long. Next up, Mohamed Salah should have had a go on his return. Let's be honest about it. You're still as confused as I am as to why it was ruled out. That being said, Mo did his part, put the ball in the net, and hopefully he does it again against Manchester City at the weekend. So, being the fact that he only played about 15-16 minutes, we're going to give Mo a score of 7 out of 10. And last, but by no means least, your manager, Jurgen Klopp. He has masterminded this run that we've gone through. Since losing to Arsenal, we have rebounded back, and even though the injuries keep mounting up, the results keep going in the right direction. To go away from home to Sparta Prague, who just knocked out Galatasaray, a free-scoring team, full of confidence, top of their own league, and destroy them by 5-1, basically meaning we can rest for the return leg. I'm over the moon, and Klopp deserves all the praise that comes his way. So Jurgen gets a 9 out of 10. And that brings to an end our player rating. So I've had my say. Now it's over to you guys to have your say. Do let us know in the comment section. Most importantly, drop a like on the video and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. And don't forget to check out our friends at SofaScore with the link in the description or the QR code on the screen. I will be recording a set of social media reactions for Anfield Agenda Clips channel. So search Anfield Agenda Clips if you haven't already subscribed. That video should be up in the next hour or so. Until then, thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.